Commander Lisa Morgan looked at the stars through the window of her ship. The Pioneer was not a big ship. It was made for exploring space, not for fighting. Lisa had been flying through space for 6 months now. Her crew of 50 people trusted her with their lives. They were looking for new worlds where humans could live. The ship moved quietly through the darkness of space. Lisa stood on the bridge, which was the control room of the ship. She liked the quiet moments when nothing happened. Space was usually peaceful. Her crew worked at their stations. Each person had a job to do. Jake Turner sat at the communication station. He listened for messages from other ships or from Earth. Danny Chun worked at the science station. He studied the stars and planets they passed. Amy Chun was the pilot. She made sure the ship went where it needed to go. Ryan Foster was her second in command. He helped her make important decisions. Today felt different. Lisa could not explain why, but something seemed wrong. She had learned to trust her feelings after years in space. "Danny, scan the area again," she said. Danny moved his hands over his controls. The screens in front of him showed many numbers and pictures. "Nothing unusual, Commander," he said. "Just empty space." But Lisa was not satisfied. She walked to the front of the bridge and looked out at the stars. The Kepler 442 system was supposed to be empty. No one had claimed it yet. That was why Earth sent them here. They wanted to see if humans could live on any of the planets. "Amy, slow us down," Lisa ordered. "Something feels wrong." Before Amy could answer, 3 huge ships appeared out of nowhere. They came from hyperspace, which was like a shortcut through space. The ships were massive. Each one was 10 times bigger than the Pioneer. They formed a triangle around Lisa's ship. There was no way to escape. "Commander, we have company," Jake said. His voice was calm, but Lisa could hear the worry. 3 alien ships. They are not answering our friendly messages. Lisa had seen many things in space, but these ships were new. They looked like giant metal insects, long and sharp, with weapons sticking out everywhere. The ships were dark gray, almost black. They moved slowly, like hunters circling their prey. "All stop," Lisa commanded. "Jake, keep trying to talk to them. Danny, I want to know everything about those ships." The bridge became very busy. Everyone worked fast but stayed calm. They had trained for this. Meeting aliens was always possible in space. But these aliens did not look friendly. Their ships were made for war, not for talking. "Commander, they are finally answering," Jake said, putting it on the main screen. The big screen at the front of the bridge came to life. Lisa saw an alien face for the first time. The creature looked like a mix between a big insect and an octopus. Its body was covered in hard shell, like armor. Many eyes sat on top of its head like a crown. When it moved, Lisa could hear clicking sounds. The alien had arms that ended in sharp claws. Behind it, she could see other aliens working. "Human. Vessel," the alien spoke. Its voice came through a translator. The machine changed the alien words into English, but the voice sounded cold and mean. "I am War Master Crex Theta of the Volaran Hegemony. You have entered our space. Surrender now, and we may let you live." Lisa stood straight and tall. She would not show fear. "War Master, I am Commander Lisa Morgan of the Earthship Pioneer. We are on a peaceful mission. We mean no harm. According to the laws of space, this area belongs to no one. We have the right to be here." The alien made a harsh sound. It might have been a laugh. "Humans and your laws. The Volaran Hegemony does not follow your weak rules. We take what we want. We are strong. You are weak. This is the only law that matters." Lisa looked at Ryan. He shook his head slightly. They both knew this was bad. The Volarans were known bullies in this part of space. They took systems from smaller groups. But this was the first time they met humans. "We do not want trouble," Lisa said. "We can leave if you give us time." "No," Krextheta said. The translator made his voice sound even more threatening. "You have technology we want. Your ship is small but advanced. You will give it to us. You will teach us your secrets. Then maybe we let your people serve us." Lisa felt anger rise in her chest. Humans had worked hard to build ships like the Pioneer. They would not just give it away. "I cannot do that," she said. "This ship belongs to Earth. I cannot give it to you." The alien's many eyes all focused on her. "Then you are stupid as well as weak. You have one rotation of your planet. 24 of your hours. If you do not surrender by then, we will take your ship by force. We will hurt your crew. We will make you beg for death. Think carefully, human." The screen went black. The alien had ended the call. Lisa turned to face her crew. Everyone looked worried but ready. They trusted her to find a way out. "Well," she said with a small smile, "that could have gone better. Danny, what did you learn about their ships?" Danny looked excited despite the danger. "Commander, you need to see this. Their weapons are powerful. Their ships are strong. But they made one big mistake. Their shield generators are on the outside of their ships, not protected inside like ours." Lisa walked over to look at his screen. The picture showed the alien ships in detail. She could see the shield generators sticking out like bumps on the hull. "Why would they do that?" she asked. "Maybe they think no one would dare attack them," Danny said. "Or maybe they like to fix things easily. But it means we can hit them if we are smart about it." Lisa's mind started working fast. The aliens were bigger and stronger, but sometimes being smart was better than being strong. "How many mining drones do we have?" she asked. Tony Martinez, the chief engineer, looked surprised. 20, Commander." "Why do you need mining drones?" Lisa smiled. It was not a nice smile. "Because we are going to teach these aliens a lesson. They think we are weak because we are small. They forgot that humans have been fighting bullies our whole history, and we always find a way to win." She turned to face her crew. "Listen up, everyone. The Valerans want us to surrender. They think we have no choice. But they do not know humans. Very well. We do not give up. We do not surrender. And we definitely do not let bullies push us around. We have 24 hours. Let's use them well." The crew nodded and got to work. They all knew the danger. 3 warships against 1 exploration vessel seemed impossible. But they also knew their commander. Lisa Morgan had never lost a fight, and she was not going to start now. The Valerans wanted their surrender. Instead, they were going to get a surprise they would never forget. 20 hours had passed since the aliens gave their threat. Lisa Morgan sat in the war room with her senior officers. The room was small but important. This was where they made battle plans. A big hologram floated in the middle of the table. It showed the 3 alien ships in blue light. The Pioneer appeared as a tiny green dot between them. "Look at this," Danny-chan said. He pointed at parts of the alien ships. "These shield generators are their biggest weakness. Each ship has 6 of them. They stick out from the hull about 2 meters. If we can damage them, the shields will fail." Tony Martinez nodded. He was the chief engineer, and he understood machines better than anyone. "I have been working all night. The mining drones are ready. We changed their programming. Now they can do very precise work. They will look like space junk floating around." Lisa studied the hologram carefully. The alien ships were still in the same positions. They had not moved for hours. The aliens were confident. They thought the humans had no choice but to give up. This confidence would be their mistake. "How close do the drones need to get?" she asked. About 50 meters from the shield generators, Tony said. Any closer and the aliens might notice. Any farther and the EMP mines won't work well. He pulled up another image. I also made these special mines. They look like escape pods. The aliens will think we are abandoning ship. Ryan Foster leaned forward. This is a big risk, Commander. If they figure out what we are doing, they will attack. Our ship cannot take hits from those weapons. He was right to worry. It was his job to think about what could go wrong. But Lisa had already thought about that. They won't figure it out, she said, because we are going to give them what they expect to see. Scared humans running away. Jake, are you ready with the fake distress signals? Jake Turner smiled. Yes, Commander. I recorded several panic messages. They sound very real. The aliens will think our crew is fighting among themselves. About surrendering. Amy Chun spoke up from her seat. I have been listening to their communications. They talk to each other a lot. They are getting impatient. One ship captain wants to attack now, but their war master is making them wait. He wants us to surrender, without a fight. Lisa stood up and walked around the table. She did this when she was thinking hard. Good. Let them think we are weak. Danny, tell me more about their ships. What else did you find? Danny pulled up more images. Their weapons are plasma-based. Very hot, very destructive. But they need a lot of power. When they fire, their shields get weaker for about 10 seconds. Also, their ships are not made for quick movement. They are built to be scary, not fast. What about their crews? Lisa asked. How many aliens on each ship? About 200 per ship, Danny said. But here is something interesting. They do. Not like small spaces. Their ships have big corridors and huge rooms. They are not built for close combat. I think the Valorans fight from far away usually. This gave Lisa an idea. She looked at Ryan. How many Marines do we have? 20, Commander. All in top shape and ready to fight. But 20 against 600 is not good math. Lisa smiled. It is if we are smart about it. Get Sergeant Paul Davis in here. I want to talk to him about boarding operations. Ryan looked surprised. Boarding? Commander, you want to board their ships? Why not? They expect us to run or surrender. The last thing they expect is for us to attack. And definitely not for us to come knocking on their door. Tony raised his hand. Commander, I have been thinking. Their computer systems must control those shields. If we could get a virus into their systems, we could do a lot of damage. I like how you think, Lisa said. Can you make that happen? Give me 6 hours and help from Danny. We can hide the virus in normal communication signals. They scan for weapons, not for computer code. Lisa felt hope growing in her chest. The plan was coming together. They would use the aliens' strength against them. Their big ships made them feel safe. Their powerful weapons made them careless. They thought humans were just another weak species to conquer. They were about to learn how wrong they were. A knock on the door interrupted her thoughts. Sergeant Paul Davis entered the room. He was a big man with a face that had seen many fights. His Marines were the best fighters on the ship. You wanted to see me, Commander? Yes, Paul. Sit down. I have a crazy idea, and I need to know if your Marines can do it. Paul listened as Lisa explained the plan. His eyes got wider as she talked. When she finished, he was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled. It was the smile of a man who loved a challenge. My Marines have been bored for months, Commander. They will love this. But we need special equipment. Those aliens are big. Our normal weapons might not be enough. Make a list of what you need, Lisa said. Tony will help you get it ready. We have 4 hours before we start the operation. Everyone had a job to do now. Lisa felt the energy in the room change. They were not scared anymore. They were excited. This was what humans did best. When faced with impossible odds, they got creative. When bullies pushed them, they pushed back harder. Amy raised her hand. "Commander, another ship just arrived. It's bigger than the others." "I think it's their command ship." Lisa looked at the hologram. A fourth ship had joined the triangle. This one was decorated with symbols and lights. It was clearly important. "Even better," she said. "More eggs in one basket." "Jake, can you find out who is on that ship?" Jake worked for a few minutes. "Yes, Commander. Admiral Vexmar. He is high-ranking. The other captains report to him." Lisa felt her smile grow bigger. The aliens had just made her job easier. If she could capture their admiral, the rest might give up without a fight. Change of plans, everyone. That command ship is now our main target. Paul, I want your best team on that ship. Capture the bridge if you can. Paul nodded. "We'll get it done, Commander." Lisa looked around the room at her officers. They were good people, brave and smart. The aliens had no idea what they were dealing with. "All right, everyone. You know what to do. In 4 hours, we show these Valorans why humans explored the stars. Not because we were strong, but because we never give up." Dismissed, the officers left to do their jobs. Lisa stayed in the war room with Ryan. He looked worried but excited. "Do you really think this will work?" he asked. Lisa looked at the hologram. Again, 4 massive warships against 1 small explorer. On paper, it was suicide. But humans had never done well with paper predictions. They had a way of surprising everyone, including themselves. "It will work," she said, "because it has to. Because we're not just fighting for our ship. We're showing the galaxy what humans are made of. The Valorans think might makes right. They're about to learn that brains beat brawn every time." Ryan nodded. "The crew believes in you, Commander. They'll follow you anywhere." Lisa felt the weight of that trust. 50 lives depended on her plan working, but she also felt something else. Pride in her species, in her crew, in what they were about to do. The Valorans wanted humanity to kneel. Instead, humanity was about to stand taller than ever. The clock on the wall showed 4 hours until the deadline. 4 hours until the galaxy learned that humans were not to be underestimated. Lisa Morgan was ready to make history. The war room was quiet as Lisa Morgan watched the final preparations. On the main screen, she could see the 4 Volaran ships holding their positions. They looked like metal predators waiting for their prey to make a move. The countdown clock showed 2 hours left. It was time to start the show. "Jake, begin broadcasting the panic signals," Lisa ordered. Her voice was calm and steady. The crew needed to see her confidence. Jake Turner pressed several buttons. "Panic signals transmitting?" "Now, Commander. The Valorans should think our crew is fighting about whether to surrender." Through the speakers, they could hear the fake recordings. Voices shouted about giving up. Others argued they should fight. It sounded very real. Lisa had to remind herself. It was all pretend. Good work. Now we wait for them to take the bait. Danny Chun looked up from his station. The mining drones are in position. They're drifting with the space debris. The Valorans haven't noticed them yet. Their sensors see them as regular junk. Tony Martinez gave a thumbs up. The EMP mines are ready. They look exactly like escape pods. I even put heat signatures inside to make them seem like they have people. Lisa nodded. Everything was going according to plan. But she knew the hardest part was coming. "Amy, start making the ship look unstable. Random thrust adjustments. Make it seem like we're having technical problems." Amy Chun's fingers danced. Over her controls, the Pioneer began to move erratically. To anyone watching, it would look like a ship in trouble. "Done, Commander. We look like we're falling apart." Ryan Foster walked over with a tablet. The Marines are suited up and ready. Paul has divided them into 4 teams. Each team knows their target. They're in the modified mining pods, waiting for your signal. Lisa took a deep breath. Once they launched the fake escape pods, there would be no turning back. The Valerans would either fall for the trap or see through it. If they saw through it, the Pioneer would be destroyed in minutes. Launch the pods, she ordered. 20 small objects shot out from the Pioneer. To the Valeran sensors, it would look like the human crew was abandoning ship. The pods spread out in different directions, moving fast, but not too fast. Inside each one was an EMP mine that could disable electronics within 100 meters. Valeran ships are moving, Danny reported. They're going after the pods. Wait, I'm picking up their communications. Lisa held up her hand for silence. The alien voices came through the speakers, translated into English. Finally, the humans. Show their weakness, one captain said. Collect the pods. We will interrogate the humans before their ship surrenders. Be careful, another voice warned. This could be a trick. What trick? The first captain laughed. They are running like scared animals. Just as we expected. Lisa smiled. The aliens' arrogance was working against them. They were so sure of their superiority that they couldn't imagine humans fighting back. How close are they to the pods? 50 meters in closing, Danny said. 40 meters. 30. They're using tractor beams to pull them in. Wait for it, Lisa said. Her heart was beating fast, but her voice stayed calm. Let them get closer. The bridge was silent, except for the hum of computers. Everyone watched their screens. The Valeran ships moved closer to the fake escape pods. Their shields were still up, but the shield generators were exposed. The mining drones drifted closer, hidden among real space debris. Pods are inside their shield perimeter, Danny whispered. They're bringing them into their cargo bays. Now, Lisa commanded. Tony pressed a button. All 20 EMP mines detonated at once. Bright blue energy waves expanded from each mine. The electromagnetic pulses hit the Valeran shield generators. Directly, sparks flew from the alien ships as their shields flickered and died. Shields are down on all ships, Danny shouted. The mining drones are moving in. On the screen, Lisa watched the tiny drones attach themselves to the Valeran hulls. They immediately began cutting through the metal with plasma torches. The aliens had built their ships to withstand energy weapons, not precision-cutting tools. Jake, open a channel to all Valeran ships. The main screen split to show 4 different alien bridges. Each one was in chaos. Alarms blared as the aliens scrambled to understand what was happening. Admiral Vexmar appeared in the center screen. His many eyes were wide with shock. What is this treachery? Vexmar demanded. You dare attack the Valeran hegemony? Lisa stood tall and smiled. You wanted our surrender, Admiral. I'm afraid I have to decline. You see, humans have a saying. Don't start a fight you can't finish. Your tiny ship cannot defeat us, Vexmar raged. Even without shields, our weapons will destroy you. Danny, show them what else we've been doing, Lisa said calmly. Danny's fingers flew over his keyboard. Virus uploaded to all 4 ships. Their weapon systems are going offline. Navigation is locked. I left life support alone because we're not trying to kill anyone. The alien bridges erupted in more chaos. Valerans ran back and forth, trying to fix their systems. But Tony and Danny had designed the virus well. It adapted to their attempts to remove it, getting stronger each time they tried. You think you've won? Vexmar snarled. We still have 600 warriors. You have 50 scared explorers. Lisa's smile grew wider. Paul, you're up. From the Pioneer's hull, 4 modified mining pods launched. These ones were different. Each one carried 5 human Marines in advanced combat armor. The pods were small and fast, designed to fit through the holes the drones had cut in the Volaran hulls. Boarding pods away, Paul Davis reported over the radio. Approaching target. Vessels. No resistance so far. They really didn't expect visitors. Lisa watched the tactical display. The 4 pods split up, each heading for a different Volaran ship. The aliens tried to shoot them down, but with their main weapons offline, they only had small emergency lasers. The human pods dodged easily. First pod has entered the command ship, Paul reported, moving to the bridge. These corridors are huge. Just like Danny said, easy to move through. The Volarans had built their ships for their own comfort. They were large creatures who liked space. This meant the human Marines could move quickly through the halls. Their powered armor made them stronger and faster than normal. And unlike the Volarans, humans were very good at fighting in small spaces. Contact. With enemy forces, Paul said. His voice was calm even in battle. They're not used to close combat. Their weapons are too big for these corridors, moving past them. Lisa could hear the sounds of fighting over the radio. Energy blasts, shouting, the clang of armor against metal. But Paul's team kept moving forward. The other Marine teams reported similar progress. The Volarans were warriors, but they were used to fighting from far away. In close quarters against human Marines, they were at a disadvantage. Amy, move us closer to the command ship, Lisa ordered. But stay out of range of any weapons they might have left. Amy piloted the Pioneer. Carefully, the small ship danced between the larger vessels like a butterfly among elephants. The Volarans couldn't track her movements, even if their weapons worked. She was too quick, too unpredictable. Commander, I'm getting reports from all Marine teams, Ryan said. They've secured engineering on 3 ships. Team 2 has reached the bridge of their target. Lisa felt pride swell in her chest. Her people were doing the impossible. They were capturing ships 10 times their size with just courage and cleverness. But the most important target was still ahead. Paul, what's your status? Outside the command bridge now, Paul replied. Heavy resistance. They really don't want us getting to their admiral. Give us 5 minutes. Those 5 minutes felt like hours. Lisa listened to the reports from all teams. The Volarans were fighting hard, but they were losing. Their ships were designed to be fortresses in space that they never imagined enemies would get inside. It was like building a castle with thick walls, but forgetting to lock the door. Bridge secured. Paul's voice came through strong and clear. Admiral Vexmar is in custody. His crew has surrendered. The other teams reported similar success. One by one, the Volaran bridges fell to human Marines. In less than an hour, 4 massive warships had been captured by a single exploration vessel. It should have been impossible. But humans had always been good at doing the impossible. The bridge of the Volaran command ship was unlike anything Lisa Morgan had ever seen. The ceiling stretched up 20 feet high. The corridors were wide enough to drive vehicles through. Everything was built for creatures much larger than humans. Lisa walked through these massive spaces feeling small but victorious. Admiral Vexmar sat on the floor, his multiple arms bound with magnetic restraints. Around him, his bridge crew knelt in surrender. The mighty Volaran warriors, who had threatened to destroy the Pioneer, now looked defeated and confused. They couldn't understand how this had happened. Secure all weapons on this ship, Lisa ordered her Marines. I want every system checked. Make sure they can't activate anything we don't know about. Paul Davis nodded. Already on it, Commander. My teams are going through each ship deck by deck. So far, we've found a lot of weapons, but nothing they can use with our virus in there. Systems. Lisa approached Admiral Vexmar. Up close, the alien was even more intimidating. He stood 12 feet tall, even while sitting. His armor was decorated with symbols of his victories, hundreds of them. Each one represented a species or world he had conquered. But today, there would be no new symbol. "This is impossible," Vexmar said. His translator made his voice sound broken. "One small ship cannot defeat the Valaran fleet. You must have cheated. Used Forbidden's technology." Lisa shook her head. "No Forbidden's technology, Admiral. Just human creativity. You made a critical error. You judged us by our size, not our intelligence. That's a mistake many have made throughout our history. They all learned the same lesson you're learning now." "What lesson?" Vexmar asked, his eyes narrowing. "Never underestimate humanity." Lisa turned to Danny, who had set up a mobile workstation. "On the alien bridge, what have you found in their computers?" Danny looked excited, despite the danger they had been through. "Commander, this is amazing. Their database has information on dozens of species. The Valarans have been conquering worlds for over 200 years. They have detailed files on every civilization they've defeated." "Download everything," Lisa ordered, "especially information about their other bases and fleets. Ryan, I want you to organize teams to search these ships. Look for anything useful. Technology, star maps, communication codes." Ryan Foster saluted and left with several crew members. Lisa knew they had won a battle, but the war was far from over. The Valaran hegemony controlled dozens of systems. This was just one fleet. They would send more ships once they learned what happened here. "You think you've won something?" Vexmar said. "The hegemony will send 1,000 ships. They will burn your Earth to ashes. Your victory today means nothing." Lisa sat down on a Valaran chair, which was comically large for her. But she didn't care about appearances. She had something more important than size. She had information. "Tell me about your base in this system, Admiral." Vexmar's eyes widened slightly. He hadn't expected her to know about the base. "I will tell you nothing, human." "You don't have to," Lisa said. "Your computers already told us. Hidden asteroid. Base. Coordinates locked in your navigation system. About 300 personnel. Mostly support staff, not warriors." "Am I close?" The Admiral's silence told her she was right. Jake Turner called from his station. "Commander, I'm picking up transmissions from the base. They're asking why the fleet has gone silent. They sound worried. Let them worry a bit longer," Lisa said. She stood and faced the captured alien officers. "I'm going to make this simple. You can cooperate and live, or you can resist and face the consequences. But either way, that base is going to be under human control by the end of the day." One of the younger Valaran officers spoke up. "You can't take the base with just 50 humans. It has defenses, guards. You got lucky here because you surprised us. That won't happen again." "Paul." Davis laughed. It was not a pleasant sound. "Lucky? We just took 4 warships with 20 Marines. You think a base is going to be harder? My people are already planning the assault. Your guards won't know what hit them." Lisa raised her hand for silence. "There's another option. Admiral Vexmar. You could order the base to surrender. No one else has to get hurt. Your people could go home alive." "Never," Vexmar snarled. "I would rather die than help you." "That can be arranged," Paul said, but Lisa shook her head. "No, we're better than that." She looked around at the captured aliens. "Any of you want to go home? See your families again? All you have to do is help us. One of you must have the authority to contact the base." The Valarans looked at each other. Lisa could see the doubt in their eyes. They had been taught that strength was everything. But here were humans, smaller and weaker, who had defeated them with cleverness. Everything they believed was being challenged. Finally, one officer stepped forward. He was younger than the others, with fewer battle scars. I am Sub-Commander Texival. I can contact the base. But why should I betray my people? Lisa smiled kindly. You wouldn't be betraying them. You'd be saving them. Think about it. We could destroy that base, kill everyone inside. But we don't want to. We're explorers, not conquerors. We just want to be left in peace. Help us, and your people in that base go home. Refuse, and things get messy. Texival looked at his admiral, then back at Lisa. You would truly let them go? Not enslave them? Humans don't keep slaves, Lisa said firmly. It's one of our core beliefs. Freedom is a right for all thinking beings. Your people would be free to leave, as long as they promise not to attack us again. The young officer seemed to struggle with the decision. Lisa could understand. He had been raised to believe in Volaran superiority. Admitting defeat went against everything he knew. But he was also smart enough to see the reality. The humans had won. Fighting more would only lead to more death. I will do it, Texival said finally. I will tell the base to surrender. Traitor, Vexmar roared. You disgrace the hegemony. No, Texival replied, standing taller. I save Volaran lives. Something you should have done instead of threatening these humans. Look where your arrogance has led us, Admiral. Defeated by a ship 1/10 our size. Lisa nodded to Jake. Set up the communication. Let's make this quick and clean. As Texival spoke to the base, Lisa felt the weight of what they had accomplished. In one day, they had changed the balance of power in this sector of space. The Volaran hegemony had learned that humans were not easy prey. But more importantly, they had shown that humans could be merciful in victory. The base commander wants proof that we have you, Texival said. He doesn't believe humans could capture our fleet. Lisa smiled. Put me on, visual and audio. The screen changed to show a Volaran in a different uniform. His eyes went wide when he saw Lisa standing on the bridge of the command ship with Volaran. Officers kneeling around her. This cannot be, he stammered. I'm afraid it is, Lisa said. I am Commander Lisa Morgan of Earth. Your fleet is under my control. Admiral Vexmar is my prisoner. You have two choices. Surrender peacefully, and your people go home. Fight and face the same fate as your fleet. You have 5 minutes to decide. She cut the transmission before he could reply. Around her, the captured Volarans watched with a mix of fear and growing respect. They had expected humans to be weak. Instead, they had found a species that was clever, brave, and surprisingly merciful. It was changing their entire worldview. Commander, Tony. Martinez called from his station. I've been going through their ship systems. You need to see this. They have detailed invasion plans for Earth. They were planning to attack our home after conquering this sector. Lisa felt cold anger rise in her chest. The Volarans hadn't just wanted their ship. They had wanted to enslave her entire species. But now those plans were in human hands. Earth would be warned. Earth would be ready. The Volaran base was built inside a hollowed asteroid, a marvel of engineering that floated silently in space. Lisa Morgan stood in the command center of the base, looking at the massive displays that showed star maps of the entire sector. Just hours ago, this had been a stronghold of the Volaran hegemony. Now, the flag of Earth hung on the wall, and human personnel worked alongside surrendered Volarans to transfer control of all systems. Admiral Vexmar knelt before her, along with his senior officers. The base personnel had surrendered without a fight, shocked that their mighty fleet had been defeated by a single human ship. 300 Volarans now waited to learn their fate. Lisa could feel their eyes on her, wondering if humans would keep their promise of mercy. Bring me the communication equipment, Lisa ordered. Tony Martinez and Danny Chun wheeled in a large transmitter. It was Valeran technology, capable of reaching across the galaxy. "All set, Commander," Danny said. "This will broadcast on every frequency the Valerans use. Military, civilian, even their news networks. Everyone will hear you." Lisa nodded and looked at Jake Turner. "Are you recording this for Earth?" "Yes, Commander. Everything is being documented. Earth needs to see what happened here." Lisa took a deep breath and stepped up to the transmitter. This moment would change everything. Not just for humans, but for every species under Volaran rule. She activated the device and began to speak. "This is Commander Lisa Morgan of Earth, broadcasting to all who can hear this message. Today, the Volaran hegemony demanded humanity's surrender. It brought 4 warships to threaten a single exploration vessel. They expected us to kneel before their strength." She paused, letting her words sink in across the galaxy. "Instead, we showed them that there is more to power than size and weapons. Using courage, intelligence, and determination, we captured their entire fleet. We now control their base in the Kepler 442 system. The mighty Volaran armada was defeated by 50 human explorers." On the displays around her, she could see communication channels lighting up. Her message was spreading across space at the speed of light. Worlds that had lived in fear of the Valerans were listening. "But we did not do this for conquest," Lisa continued. "We are not like the hegemony. We do not wish to rule over others. We seek friendship, trade, and peaceful exploration. That is why I'm now going to do something the Valerans would never do." She turned to look at Vexmar. "Admiral, stand up." The massive alien rose slowly, his eyes full of confusion. He expected execution or enslavement. That's what his people would have done. But Lisa had other plans. "Admiral Vexmar and all Volaran personnel are free to go," Lisa announced. "They will be given transport ships and supplies. They can return to their home world in peace. We ask only that they carry this message. Humanity wants peace, but we will defend ourselves. Leave us alone, and we leave you alone. Attack us, and face the consequences." Gasps came from both human and Volaran personnel. Even her own crew looked surprised. Ryan Foster stepped forward. "Commander, are you sure about this? They could come back with more ships." Lisa smiled. "They could, but I don't think they will. Danny, share what you found in their database." Danny activated a hologram that showed dozens of star systems. "The Valerans have conquered 43 worlds. They rule through fear. But look at this." The display changed to show economic data. Their empire is falling apart. The conquered worlds produce less each year. There are rebellions on 12 planets. The hegemony spends more on controlling their empire than they gain from it. "You see," Lisa said, addressing everyone in the room, "empires built on fear always fall. The Valerans thought strength was everything, but they never understood that willing allies are more valuable than conquered slaves. Today, we show them a different way." She turned back to the transmitter. "To all species living under Volaran rule, know this: you are not alone. The information we captured includes all Volaran military codes, base locations, and shield frequencies. This information is now being transmitted on open channels. Use it to claim your freedom." Warning lights began flashing on Volaran communication. Boards, their military channels, were being flooded with their own secret data. Every weakness, every defensive plan, every hidden base location was being broadcast for anyone to receive. "No," Vexmar shouted. "You don't understand. Without the hegemony to maintain order, there will be chaos. Wars between species. Billions will die." Lisa faced him calmly. "Maybe, or maybe free people will choose cooperation over conflict. That's the difference between us, Admiral. You believe people must be controlled. We believe they should be free to choose, even if they choose badly sometimes. She returned to the transmitter for her final words. To the Valeran hegemony leadership, you have a choice. You can waste resources trying to hold your empire together, fighting rebels now armed with your secrets. Or you can do something truly strong. You can change, release your conquered worlds. Trade instead of taking. Join the galactic community. As partners, not conquerors. And to Earth, she said, her voice growing warm, this is just the beginning. We came to space seeking new worlds and new friends. Today, we found both. But we also found that the galaxy needs us. Not our weapons, or our ships, but our ideas. Freedom, justice, mercy. These are humanity's gifts to the stars. She stepped back from the transmitter. The command center was silent. Then, slowly, one of the younger Valeran officers began to click his claws together. It was their form of applause. Others joined in, until even some of the senior officers were showing respect. Admiral Vexmar stared at Lisa with all his eyes. You are either the wisest species we have encountered, or the most foolish. Time will tell which. Maybe we're both, Lisa said. That's what makes us human. Jake, send a message to Earth. Tell them we need diplomats, not soldiers. We've just created the biggest opportunity for peace in galactic history. Let's not waste it. Over the next hours, Lisa watched as her crew prepared the Valeran personnel for departure. The aliens were given 4 transport ships, supplies for the journey, and medical equipment. Many seemed confused by this treatment. They had expected cruelty and received kindness. Sub-Commander Texival approached Lisa before boarding his ship. Commander Morgan, I must ask, why show us mercy? We would not have done the same for you. Lisa thought for a moment. My grandmother once told me that the true test of strength is not how hard you can hit, but how gently you can hold. The Valerans know how to hit. Today, we taught you how to hold. Maybe someday you can teach others. The young officer nodded slowly. Perhaps there is wisdom in your ways. I will remember this day, and I will tell others what I have seen. Not all Valerans believe in the old ways. Maybe it is time for change. As the transport ships departed, Lisa stood with her crew in the observation deck. They had done the impossible. They had turned certain defeat into total victory. But more than that, they had shown the galaxy that humans were different. They were not conquerors or slaves. They were something new. What now, Commander? Ryan asked. Lisa smiled at the stars. Now we explore. We make friends. We help where we can. And if anyone else demands our surrender, well, they'll get the same response. Humanity is here to stay, and we're going to make the galaxy a better place, one impossible victory at a time. The Pioneer departed the captured base, now flying Earth's flag proudly. Behind them, they left a galaxy forever changed. The Valeran hegemony's days of easy conquest were over. Dozens of species now had hope for freedom, and everyone had learned an important lesson. Never underestimate humanity. They might be small, they might be new to space, but they had something more powerful than any weapon. They had the courage to show mercy, the wisdom to choose peace, and the strength to fight for what was right. The stars had gained new protectors, and the galaxy would never be the same.